We'll get started. Thank you for everybody being here for our council meeting 27th of January 2026, the first one for the year. Devonport City Council acknowledges and pays respect to the Palawa Pack and the people as the traditional and original owners, Latruwita, and continuing custodians of this land on which we gather. We also acknowledge and pay our respects to the Tasmanian Aboriginal elders past and present. All persons in attendance are advised that it is council policy to record council meetings in accordance with council's digital recording policy. The digital recording of this meeting will be made available to the public on council's website for a minimum period of 6 months. The meeting will also be live streamed on council's YouTube channel. So moving on, obviously lovely to see our councillors here. Thank you very much for being in attendance tonight. We do have one apology tonight, Councillor Murphy. Are there any declarations of interest from the councillors that are here? That would be a big no. Thank you. So moving on to item 3, just procedural. 3.1 is confirmation of minutes. If I could have a mover, please.
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Ennis, and second was Councillor Sheehan. Thank you. Councillor Ennis.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Councillor Sheehan.
Procedural.
Thank you. Any comments from the councillors? If not, I will ask Councillor Ennis to close.
Consider it closed, ma'am.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Am I a bit loud? Is everybody fine with that? I feel like I have to back off the microphone at the moment. I might just put it over there. It feels like it's reverberating tonight. So sorry about that. 3.2 is public question time. 3.2.1 is responses to questions raised. There are nil. 3.2.2 is questions on notice from the public. There is a recommendation there. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Viney, and a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Moore, thank you. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. These are in regards to the responses from the questions without notice from the public in the last meeting. I thought there was something worth noting in the response here from council that the number of fines issued by our parking inspectors for the period October to December in 2024 was 4,513. For the same period for last year in 2025, it was down to 2,712. And what was really interesting in that difference was that was the public parking inspectors prioritising the assistance with getting to learn the new parking meters and not having it a priority just to fine people during that transition. So I thought that was a really good thing that we've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Viney. Councillor Moore.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors?
Yes.
Councillor Ennis.
I noticed that too. A lot of common sense used, and I'm sure the public would appreciate it.
Thank you. Further comments? If not, I would ask Councillor Viney to close.
Nothing further. Thank you, Mayor. Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 3.2.3 is questions without notice from the public. I do notice we have some people in our gallery tonight. If anyone has a question, it is your opportunity to come up and ask. Mr. Devonport.
Thank you. My name is Devonport at 11 Cocker Place, pardon me, Devonport. Mayor, in regard to previous questions asked about the new parking meters, the executive manager said it is correct that the parking officers are required to manually enter the licence plate. Also, as per this evening's agenda, I note, among other things, the CO informed at present no reliable, fully automated ALA issuing software is available. And also in regards to issuing infringement notices after the installation of the new parking meters, the CEO states, in fact, officers did not issue any infringements for several weeks, focusing instead on helping people understand the new system. Once we were confident that the community was familiar with the changes, normal enforcements resumed. Mayor and councillors, whilst it might be argued that the community or local residents will become familiar with the new system after only a few weeks, what consideration has been given to the many from rural areas and other intra and interstate tourists who now in the future wish to visit the CBD and four-way shopping precinct? Because it appears to me, I believe, and others are saying the same, what is happening due to the recent proposed reduction of easy and convenient parking within this living city, are you really killing the concept? For years, our local tourism people have been exerting their efforts to encourage visitors and, most importantly, stay in our city. And it is most disappointing to see what's happening. The amount of fines or infringement notices is, I believe, past the joke, isn't it?
What is the question, Mr. Devonport? We're getting your opinion.
Well, what consideration has been really given to visitors and tourists that come in there? They wouldn't have a clue. I know personally, and I can name them, but from outer regions have come into Devonport and turned away.
Would you like an answer?
And they're doing it all the time.
Would you like an answer?
I believe from business people have informed me of same.
Would you like my answer?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So what you're saying is the signage that is there, when I go into a foreign area, when I travel and I go to a new car park that I've never been into before, I read the signs. That's the first thing I do.
The car park's good, but what about the street parking? Go down four ways, for instance, it's a prime example on the west side. Have a look at that.
I'll have to go and have a look what you're talking about. I'm not quite sure exactly where you're talking about, but I can find out. Thank you.
So you think it's all okay? Question two.
Hold on for a moment.
Through you, Mayor, could just add one point to Mr. Devonport. We, as part of the rollout of the new meters, we did also introduce another app that can be used by members of the public, and we've found that it's previously we only had the Easy Park app. We now have another app for people from interstate that are used to using that other app. The stats are showing that they're finding that quite familiar, and I think the take-up is up in the order of about 90%, and now are paying through one of the two apps. So we are hearing that interstate visitors are finding that convenient rather than having to put on the Easy Park app. They now can use the one that they're more familiar with. So.
Maybe so, but I can tell you there's a lot of rural people who've contacted me and said about how difficult it is that they have when they come into here from other areas and interstate who don't have that app. There's been no requirement for them.
Thank you.
As I said, do everyone a favour and walk down four ways on the western side and put yourself in the shoes of tourists and others.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question 2. I refer to the council's notice for car park closure at 6 to 10 Steel Street, Devonport. I note the council Formby Road car park will be closed from Monday the 19th of January 2026 to allow construction works to commence for the new mental health hub. And the site will remain closed for the duration of the construction project. Also, it is not expected to reopen until completion of the new building. My question is, as this is not a council project, am I correct to say that there will be a loss of revenue for ratepayers due to this closure, or will rent be paid for the site that's being used?
Through you, Mayor, I can clarify the car park that was previously there was under lease to the Goodstone Group, and they actually ran the car park, so it wasn't a public car park up until only about a 4-week period when council operated it coming into Christmas. But prior to that, it had been a car park that was owned or was under lease to the owners of the nearby hotels, and they ran the car park and I believe used a private operator to manage that car park. I will also note, Mayor, that part of the redevelopment, there is a public car park going in there that will actually increase the parking capacity in that part of King Street. We're doing some media on that in coming weeks.
So in between their time, they've got it gratis. The builder's got it gratis.
No, that's obviously misunderstood. I'll write to Mr. Devonport to clarify.
Thank you.
Right.
They need clarifying, I think, because other builders, do they get the same concession?
Through you, Mayor. Rather than Brian, I might just clarify. Council has sold that property to Fairbrother. We don't own the property. 6 to 10 Still Street is not owned by council. The builder owns it.
That car park.
That's right. Yeah.
So the car park is now owned by Fairbrother.
The property is. That's right.
Yes,
It's not a car park. It's a building site.
But just to clarify, will the car park revert to as a public council owned?
There is public parking that once the development is completed, there'll be public parking available on that site, but it won't be council owned.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That clarifies nicely. Thank you.
If you're moving on to a third question, if I may.
Yes, yeah, well, by all means.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public gallery that would like to ask a question at this time? As we know that Mr. Belfort has a third question. Is that one, Mr. Belfort?
Yes, in regard to the Norability Invasion Day March and Rally held on Australia Day, I believe at least 4 to 5 ALTAS traffic management vehicles and other official personnel was required. Do ratepayers have to contribute in any way, to be that in kind or actual cash towards that march and rally?
No, not at all.
It's not at all. So it's a state government. State government will pick up the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3.3 is questions from councillors. 3.3.1 is questions on notice from councillors. There is none. 3.4 is notice of the motions. There is none. Item 4 is planning authority members, and there is no items in this agenda. Item 5, moving right along, everybody, is reports. 5.1 is the risk management framework. If I could have a mover, please, of the recommendation. Councillor Hollister and Councillor Martin, was that?
Yep.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister?
For the report, nothing further to add.
Thank you. Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, it is in all the report. There's only been minor updates for the last issuing of that framework, so I've seen no problems with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Shane?
With the escalation of risk and how that's managed, do we see in the future that might be sort of linked to specific job categories, like really sort of detail it a little bit more? So as things escalate, at certain trigger points, it goes to the CEO and then it goes to the inverse order. Just wondering, is there, when we look at this next time, are we going to sort of tighten the descriptions of how the risk is escalated? We're not seeing merit in that.
Through Ms. Stone. Thank you.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. Yes, we can certainly look at that next time, Stacey. We do have a very comprehensive risk register and all of our risks are listed in there. I guess the reporting more on that goes through the audit panel. But yeah, we certainly have a comprehensive risk assessment process, and risk register sits above that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just having a look at it in relation to a couple of other risk strategies or risk management plans on the mainland, and it just seemed that, obviously it compares favourably, but that just seemed an area that you could tighten up next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments or questions from the councillors? If not, Councillor Hollister to close, please.
Consider and close.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.2 is delegations CEO biennial update. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Viney and second, Councillor Ennis. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. This is to update the council delegation to the CEO. It's a statutory requirement. I did note in the report that there's no material changes since the last update was done last year in January 2024. I do have one quick question. Within the report, it mentions in the background in the discussion about it being the CEO, but within the statutory requirements there reverts back to referring to the general manager. Is that just because of how it's written in the wherever that has come from, the Act, or?
Yeah, that's correct. The general manager's term within the Act.
Within the Act, yeah.
However, there's a resolution of council previously adopted that
There is a change.
That's right.
Yeah. Good question. Nice, thank you for that clarification.
Thank you. Councillor Ennis,
Nothing further.
any further comments or questions from the councillors? If not, Councillor Barney, do close, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.3 is appointment of emergency management roles. Got information there for everybody to see. If I can have a mover, please.
No,
Councillor Hollister and Councillor Shan. Councillor Hollister.
nothing further, right? It's usually decided stuff that we have to have.
Councillor Shan.
Some very worthy appointments. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments and questions? Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, congratulations in regards to management setting up a succession plan, nominating Kenny Corker to be trained up to take over from Karen Stone eventually.
Not yet.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors? If not, I will ask Councillor Hollister to close, please.
It's closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 5.4 is the Credit Post Waste Management 24-25 annual report. If I can have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Moore and
Second.
Second. Councillor Viney. Thank you. Councillor Moore.
Yeah, it's all there in the report, but I thought it was worth noting that councils with their new 3 bins have diverted 55% curbside waste from landfill, which is incredible. That's exactly why why one of the, us as one of the councils has done that, and I just think it's very worthy of being noted that more than half is now not going to landfill. Well done.
Thank you. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a little bit more of a deep dive into those figures because I thought this was an interesting trend. This is breaking down. I just picked three councils within that Cradle Coast group. Central Coast Council has 65% diverted from landfill. Obviously, they were one of the first councils in our region, early adopters of FOGO. I put ourselves about in the middle there. We're at 52% now diverted from landfill. And Burnie City Council, which only picked up FOGO last year, sitting at 16% currently, but hopefully within a couple of years we'll be matching those other sort of local jurisdictions. And just to put that in dollar terms, which I thought was just as important, the saving that Central Coast Council are having with that diversion is $200,000, and we're not far behind that. And if you compare that to the 16%, they're only saving for $45,000. So there's obvious advantages, huge advantages to the environment, but also to the council operating costs and bottom line, which is important. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Great points. Further comments and questions from the councillors? Councillor F.
Yeah, saving money for the ratepayers, it basically is. Everything that goes diverted means cash not coming out of the ratepayers' pockets.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just double checking on that. Yes, it seems to be well on track with over 50% of the actions completed.
That's right. It's just gone.
The management is well on track with over 50% of actions completed. I note that there's 3 actions that are no longer with Greater Coast Waste. That has been adopted into the TWRRB strategy, which the acronym isn't in the agenda, but it's the Tasmanian Waste and Resource Recovery Board. To note that items 29, which is support member councils to introduce local plastic bans. Item 30 is to develop a regional single-use plastic elimination strategy. And item number 32 is implement single-use plastic ban for council-supported events. So those 3 now come under the Tasmanian Waste Resource Recovery. Some great figures from the mover and seconder in regards to some stats. I've got here that 6,397 tonnes of recyclables have been collected and 8,352 tonnes of FOGO collected. And that ends up about 47% of regional waste diverted to resource recovery. So it's a good report, and it tells us what we're doing with our waste, and we're on the right track. Thank you.
Good point. Thank you. Further comments, Councillor Hollister?
Just looking at the community engagement part, the schools, waste management workshops, students that participated, public events attended, and the 8 compost and landfill facility tours. Now, I believe part of the levy that's collected from all the stuff that goes over Dalton, over the Weybridge, the money from that is some of it, I don't know how much, is spent on educating the public. So you can see where some of our money winds up, which is obviously quite useful. Good.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? I must admit, it's very heartening to see this, to know that it was a bit of angst beginning of us making a decision. And I know, 5-6 years ago, not longer, we looked at FOGO in the first instance, and it was just cost prohibitive for our ratepayers. We've got to that point now where this is really working and showing, and proof is in the pudding. Wouldn't it be great if on the other end we could have plastic stop being produced, which would help us even more? So hopefully that end of the scale of government can get to that point where we stop having it actually, out there in everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's plastic. Doesn't matter where you go, whether it's a supermarket or buying a toy or anywhere you go, it's just crazy. So if we could get to that point, it'd be great if that could just stop being produced in the first place. So maybe one day we won't even need all these bins. We'll just have one bin and it might even just have glass in it. Who knows? Recycling's the way to go. Reusing's the way to go. Thank you for those comments. I'll ask Councillor Moore to close.
Consider it closed, Matt.
Thank you. All those in favour? Aye. And against? Carried unanimously. 5.5 is the Darlington Waste Management 24-25 annual report. Right, member move, please.
I move. Second.
Councillor Martin and Councillor Viney, thank you. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. It was a good report. 24-25. They celebrated 30 years last year, and I know that the new organics waste facility was opened in 2025, and that facility was fed by 38,000 residents across the region. So it tells us that people are actually getting on board and recycling and thinking about waste, which is going to save them money in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Viney.
Thank you, Matt. A bit of overlap from the previous report and this one, but always new numbers and stats to pull out of it. So continuing on from what Councillor Martin just mentioned, 30,000 FOGO bins rolled out across the region, and now that's that organic waste being diverted from the landfill, which is fantastic. Over the last few weeks, I've made a few trips out to our waste transfer station at Sprayton with the boys, and was there again today actually, and just this is I guess a bit of an anecdotal story. It does have some relevance to Darwin, but the way that we've set that facility up now and the way that traffic flows through it, you can drop off anything of value at the tip shop before entering the site, which is great. And the times I've been there, the volunteers or the workers at the tip shop are doing a great job salvaging, like their eyes did light up, and I had a trailer full of my mum's treasures for them. And then when you go, before you even get to the weighbridge, you can get rid of your electronic waste, your gas cylinders, glass, paints. There's so many things that come out of the trailer or out of the ute before you get to the pit. And then, yeah, the green waste, the clean fill, the concrete, all of that stuff can be taken off before you get to the pit. So I'm not sure if the boys enjoy it, but it's definitely a good learning tool for those young minds to see how much stuff that we take off before we get to that horrible pit at the end. And, the less stuff that goes in that, the better for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the councillors? I will just say, just adding to that, batteries. Don't put your batteries in your waste, please. That's what the transfer station will allow you to do if you're there. There are other drop-off points around, all around the state, let alone in Devonport. No more batteries in your waste, please. Everyone be mindful of that. So I will ask Councillor Martin to close on that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I note, if I'm correct, to the CEO, that a trip to the transfer station, the fees will alter because it'll be coming weighed. You're paying by weight, starting in February. Yep. So we need to make sure that the public are aware of that. Those changes now actually works. I presume you take your trailer onto the weighbridge going in, it's weighed, and it's weighed again coming out. That be right?
Yeah, through you, Mayor, that's correct. It's already been introduced for commercial operators in large trailers. That's been running since the weighbridge was back up and going again, which is around August last year. At the start of February, that'll apply to all motors.
Okay, thank you very much. Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Item 6 is information. 6.1 is the Mayor's Monthly Report. If I can just remove it, please. Oh, where did we go there? Councillor Moore, was it? And second was Councillor. Oh, Councillor Hollister. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Could hear it over here too. Okay. Councillor Moore. Let's not have debate about it.
Thank you, Mayor. A very celebratory time over Christmas and the New Year's Eve in the city was amazing. I can see that. I just want to question about meeting with the Visitor Economy TAS TAFE, Lauren Shepherd.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. So I was able to meet her through David Dunn in Hobart, and it was nice to be introduced. And because of that, she was very happy to come up and have a bit of a tour and have a look at what we're doing in this area, as well as give us an update on TAFE. They had their CEO step down, so we were waiting for a new CEO who we will meet very soon going forward. So, but no, Matthew and I were able to sit down and have a real good speak to her about going forward, what TAFE is going to look like and how it's going to evolve.
She give you any hints or roadmap about that?
They're at the real early stages of that, of what it looks like, what they're going to do with Valley Road, how that looks, how they can improve on that. They're kind of going through a new era.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Hollister. Had that lovely pause. I didn't know what was going on. Any further comments or questions from the councillors?
Yes.
No. Councillor Ennis, sorry.
I had a question about the meeting with the chair of the Spirit of Tasmania. Is it ready yet?
Let me update you there. They feel that they're right on schedule. They're very happy with how things have been going forward. In the last, I'd like to say in the last 4 months, I'm much more heartened with everything they said they were going to do in the last 4 months. That certainly happened and occurred. Just waiting on that gantry to arrive. I know that they did some testing with it. It was built in Shanghai and they tested it there and they were quite happy with the results. So the next thing that will get on a ship and be coming this way. So an update from there will be forthcoming, I'm sure.
It'd be great if we could, when it arrives, go and have another look. What's going on over
The
there?
gantry. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you. Any further comments or questions?
Question. Gingerbread did seem to be very popular again this year.
Gingerbread.
Yeah.
The hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is that something like going again next year? It seemed to be a popular event.
Well, I hope so. It seemed to run well. Right?
And through you, Mayor, yes, Councillor Hollister, it was very popular. Not sure the Councillor Wine was sitting around, but it was very well received, and we would hope to have that or something very similar.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. There's no awards. No awards.
No. I hope it was an exciting journey for your sons. Beautiful. Councillor Shane, you had a question.
More of a commitment. Thank you very much for inviting me to meet the Consul General of Japan.
How could I not, with your skill and expertise in that area?
Indeed.
Perfect.
I felt he was pretty impressed with what Devonport had to offer. Probably quite surprised. I think their focus is always on Launceston and Hobart. Not sure how many international sort of trade-related people we get coming to Devonport. It'd be nice to see a few more. Certainly got a good story to tell. And so we've set that perspective off to them.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. No, it was great to have him here and realise that a few that have visited so far have certainly been impressed with not just the whole region, but with Devonport in particular. So it's been great. So thank you for joining me. Any further questions? If not, I will ask Councillor Moore.
I have a question.
Sorry.
Was it too late to have in there as one of your activities the Australia Awards? Was it too late, or is that in next?
Finished Wednesday.
I'll hold my comments till next month then. Thank you.
Well, yes. No problem. Thank you. Councillor Moore to close.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
That's right.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.2 is the CEO's report. I could have a move, please.
So moved.
Councillor Barney and the seconder.
Very good.
Councillor Hollister. Councillor Barney.
Thank you, Mayor. I would say the CEO had a busy month, but it's also worth noting he did have some leave, some well-deserved leave for a duration of that month. I do have one question from some of the meetings that you took, though, CEO, in regards to the residents concerned with the Friend Street and Stony Rise Road intersection. Obviously, there's some works that need to be undertaken in that area, hopefully before the Stony Rise village is up and running. Obviously, there's a bit of time before that construction starts and finishes, but I also would share some of those concerns of the residents and how's that being handled? I know a lot of it is also relying on state growth. Thank you.
Three. Just going into that.
It's actually two.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh,
it's
because you're on leave.
acting CEO. The check.
Through you, Mayor. Yes, the meeting was, I think, well received by the residents. They've had some concerns for a significant period of time. One resident participated in the rezoning process the whole way through. There was some proactive actions out of the meeting, and Jason Bell-Chambers is continuing consultation with the residents who have had some concern about the plans that they have seen. I think worth noting that plans that have been publicly circulated in relation to the intersection design are the approved functional design plans for a state road for the signalised intersection, but they don't currently consider the safe access requirements for the adjacent residents. That's an action that state growth will require the development to address. So those residents certainly will have the right for safe access onto the road network, and those works do need to be completed prior to occupation of the development.
Thank you.
Further question, if I may?
Certainly.
Same site. I know it's been brought up to Queen Street and down Stony Rise Road. Is the upper lot on the southern side of where the supermarket's going? Is that the DA coming for that as yet? I know it's all fenced off, so. Okay, all right. Good.
Through you, that portion of the site was included in the rezoning application, but I don't believe council's received the development application for the outer parcel not owned by the supermarket development.
It's sort of strange that it's fenced off separate to the actual development. Good.
So I was with Councillor Viney there. Councillor Hollister, you just asked a question, but anything further? Any questions from the councillors? No, if not, I'll ask Councillor Viney to close the report.
Consider it closed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.3, the monthly operational report. If I can have a move, please.
So move.
Councillor Viney and a seconder.
Second.
So Councillor Ennis. Councillor Viney.
Yeah, some meetings. Not really a lot happened last month at all. Mayor was really battling to find anything. No, we've had a wonderful festive period. I know I especially have enjoyed everything that the city has offered. So many great events through December. So maybe it's a bit more mundane, but it is worth noting that some footpath was also repaired on Ashburn Street, which I was overjoyed about because that's really close to where I live, and I have been badgering Mr. Bellchambers about patches of that for quite a while. And just on footpaths, I think it is going to be an ongoing issue with our ageing assets, especially as we have so many more electric scooters on those footpaths. Witnessed one, was that a couple of weeks ago, like literally right in front of me. A kid, luckily he was wearing a helmet, but still it shook him up. And it was literally just a little crack in the concrete that going too fast and couldn't negotiate it. And it's absolutely no excuse for them to be in the middle of the road. So yeah, hopefully it's a warning for the people out there on those electric scooters to slow down and just take it easy. I think there was something in the Advocate recently about another child at Sprayton, again on the footpath going too fast. So hopefully the council can stay on top of those required maintenance. There's a lot more, I guess, let's call it traffic that needs good footpaths. Really good looking vegetation maintenance. I've noticed it a lot going along Formby Road and Stewart Street. Looks great. Where we've had trees being pruned or removed, or just even the beds look fresher. I've noticed along Victoria Parade. So the outdoor staff are doing a fantastic job, especially because it's been so hot. Feel bad from now, but it gets to about 11 o'clock and I'm back inside under the air conditioning when I'm in the garden at the moment. I do have a question from the public in regards to this is, and I wasn't aware of it. Apparently there was some water features that were put into the mall at the northern end of the Brook Street Mall at some point, and now they're not operational. Is that?
Who wants that one?
Okay, so apparently those water features and now they're not going?
It's disturbing.
Certainly the case that, the Brook Street Mall signage had water flowing over the signage at either end of the mall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the history why that's no longer operational.
Okay.
We can certainly find that out and provide some advice to councillors. There may have been some nuisance issues with pigeon material being placed in the water.
Part time.
Yeah, but that's, I think it's been some time since they've been operational.
Okay. Yeah. We weren't aware that they were ever operational, so that was news to me. But at least if we could have an answer why they're not going, that'd be great. Thanks. And final one, circling back on the events that we had, even the City New Year's Eve. I think most of us were down there. I bumped into. That was fantastic. I saw in the report maybe 9,000 people, which it felt like most of our region. If it's 9,000, it definitely felt like 9,000. The fireworks at 9:30. Wow, that was so great. Didn't have to stay for the 12 o'clock ones. Maybe one day we'll stay for those as well. But I did hear on the grapevine that they were equally as spectacular. So again, thanks to our sponsors or sponsors of that Sea Road, for assisting with that, because the reality is if they didn't chip in, the fireworks wouldn't go. They wouldn't be anywhere near of what they are. So it's great to have that support from a local business to be able to have that on. Aside from that horrible accident, but in particular the one that was down there with the tree branch falling down. Obviously, that's just incredibly unlucky, but I believe there's an arborist going through all the trees along Victoria Parade to make sure that safety is paramount in that area.
It's so much.
Yeah, so through you, Matt. We're certainly looking at engaging an arborist. Very difficult to get one at the moment, but we are working on that. I've also been in contact with all those that have been injured and had some really good conversations. The outcome of their injuries will be very positive, so that's a real blessing that there'll be no long-term injuries from that. But yes, it's just a matter at the moment of engaging that arborist to give us that full report on that tree in particular and the surrounding ones.
Excellent, thank you for that. I did notice there is also on that Victoria Parade, I think near the Elamata sort of site, there's a dead tree that's just up and died. So I was going to put in a request for that one to be removed. I might do that after the meeting. And one final thing, leaving. We got 9,000 people leaving that spot at 9:30, and I imagine it was probably similar again after midnight, but it feels like there's a lot of people that go after the first fireworks. No antisocial behaviour that I could see, and the Mayor, I really did appreciate that you stressed to everyone just to be safe and to take their time, and just appreciate that you might be a little bit longer to get out. And I definitely felt that sitting in the car, like not really moving for 20 minutes or so. But once we got moving, and I know you've said this before, if you're heading from that area and you want to go south, Gun Street is your friend.
Yes.
And once we got onto Gun Street, no worries, smooth sailing. So I know there's a lot of non-Devonport people that come in for that event. I feel like we need to get that word out that you don't have to go up William Street. There are other roads that also operate north-south through Devonport. That's the benefit of being on a grid. And I think that was all I had. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Councillor Barney. As always, enlightening. Councillor Innes.
Thank you. Just if there was 9,000 people at the event, there was probably another few thousand or more outside, up on the bluff or along the headland and many other places watching fireworks. There's some really great spots to watch from. So that was really good. Like Councillor Viney, my grandkids really enjoyed the gingerbread house hunt. That was fantastic. And I had mentioned before about to the CEO about the speed of electric scooters on footpaths, and I know that you were going to speak or wrote a letter to the police about it. Obviously, our footpaths haven't been subject to the speed of scooters that we are seeing now. In the past, and that's why the footpaths are under pressure, and little bumps, which wouldn't have mattered previous, and now when you're doing 35 k's an hour, are really a bit of a worry. So if we could somehow, and look, where I come out from my work, there's people whiz down there, and you have to be really careful. They just appear and really fast. So you've got to take care of looking out for those people that are going extremely fast along, our footpaths. And if we could somehow educate people to be safe and watch your speeds, it would be really good. Anyway, that's my comment. And just on the arborist, it would be great if we had an arborist on our staff. It would be really good. With us looking to build nature into our city, it would be a great investment, I suggest. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? Councillor Wilczynski.
Thank you, Mayor. Just the Christmas volunteer breakfast was really great. Seeing 90 volunteers come along, and we all sort of helped out with drinks, and they all got a mug this year, which was really great, sponsored by St. Luke's. And I think they appreciated it. It was really good. So the community involvement was really good. The other thing with that, something out of that, is that we don't have photo bins at our council functions. We should. Just so there's a recycle bin that people can put the recycled rubbish through. So like on New Year's Eve, maybe we should have an extra bin there, not just rubbish, but a photo bin. So there's food waste and general waste that can go in it as well. I'd like that to happen. But, overall, I think our Christmas celebrations have been really great for the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? Councillor Hollister?
A couple of different things to follow up on the mall. There's a sign on both ends, probably it's a mapping sign, tells you where you are and so forth. But it also says that you can get ferry across the Mersey, which we can't anymore, so it's probably time that sign was updated. What needs to be there. I don't know how old that is, probably from when the water features were there. So I think it was done at the same time. On works night, actually, I reckon there was probably 3,000 or more on the eastern shore that could not move. The problem there, which probably needs a bit of advertising in the future, is that most of the cars are pulled up onto the grass and they're actually parked on the footpath. And I think that this should be a bit of advertising to tell them to keep off the footpath so that people can walk along. It's probably a safety issue too, with kids all over the place. Planning applications seems to be a lot there for December. I don't know whether it's busier than normal. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Shane?
Thanks, Matt. It's just a suggestion, not a criticism, but I wonder maybe in the first week of December each year we could do a bit of a walk around some of the public council areas just in this immediate vicinity to make sure that the concrete steps that I think I put a little work order in for, they really needed a good pressure clean at the start of December and even more so by the end. I just think it'd be a nice gesture to all the visitors that we have coming into the city that just that tight pour, where we have sort of public spaces there sort of really well presented. And yes, I'd like to just agree with Councillor Ennis on scooter speeds. Obviously a bit of family history with scooter accidents, but whatever local government can do in terms of education would be fantastic. I still see young kids on footpaths without helmets. I don't believe if your scooter can go 35 k's, it should be on the road and it should be licensed. I think the minimum the maximum for path is 15 k. Don't quote me on that. It's really so complex. And also, if you're on a high-powered scooter and it's not, you don't have a little license for it, you're not covered by MRB. So yeah, absolute minefield. Anything we can do for community education would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Just following on from Councillor Simsey's comments about the volunteer breakfast. I think the annual event is terrific, and the figures that come out about volunteering in Australia, it stays communities across Australia, $566 billion a year, and that's phenomenal when you start looking at your community, your own community, and what savings can be made by people turning up and basically volunteering and doing the right thing to help our community and the efforts of the people that live within it, caring and not only for people but for the environment as well. So you know, the volunteer breakfast is huge. I wish we could attract all our volunteers to come on that morning at 7 o'clock. But I'm not working on the toaster with Kate anymore because she left me with 3 blown out toasters by myself, 4 cords, and it was just too much. A big call out to all our volunteers again, and a big thank you for all the efforts and time and energy that you put in to support our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? If not, Councillor Viney to the votes.
Thank you, Mayor. Nobody picked up. There was also Devonport Cup, which was very successful. I'd like to leave a little bit of meat on the bone for people. Devonport Cup, Glenn Stevenson, third consecutive win out there at Sprayton, and looked like a great day. I'm sure you were there. Fashions on the field, man. We had an athletics carnival at the Devonport Oval. Believe again, another successful year. And obviously wasn't impeded with the development going on with the new stadium being built. Family Fun Fair was moved from Devonport Oval to Maidstone Park, which was great because we didn't drive past it as much and they didn't have the kids hounding me to go there every day. And finally, the Pub to Club Swim, which I participated in, and it's been on my bucket list. So well done to the Devonport Surf Life Saving Club for putting on that event. So I'm going to say I really enjoyed it. I mean, I survived it. I wanted to finish under 1 hour and not drown, and I managed to do both. So consider the operations report closed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Councillor Viney, and I'll remember that next time they ask me to swim. You'll be already
I can do it.
all those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We are up to 6.4, the audit panel report. If I could have a move, please. Councillor Sheen, was that the second for you, Councillor Hollis? You happy to second that?
Yep.
Thank you, Councillor Sheen.
Thanks, man. Yeah, a good read. I did have a bit of a did relate to a couple of the comments and suggestions. Yeah, happy to commend the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hollister.
It's all there. There's plenty of good reading. I believe that should give councillors confidence and staff that the independent audit committee looks at everything. The Auditor General asks questions that he needs to, and our staff can usually answer them. So pretty good. Yeah, thank you for the vote.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors at all? I just think, Councillor Hollister, it makes a big difference when you've got the good staff here at the point. So when the panel want to ask questions, the answers are there for. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Well, I'll ask Councillor Sheen to close. Consider it closed. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving right along to the closed session. If I could have a mover of the recommendation there, please. Councillor Martin, thank you. And
Second.
Councillor Viney, thank you. Councillor Martin.
Nothing to add.
Councillor Viney.
No, nothing.
Any comments from the councillors? If not, Councillor Martin to close.
Consider it closed. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
And against? carried unanimously. So therefore, we will be closing at 6:24 p.m. of the open session, moving into closed session very shortly. Thank you to those at the public gallery that are here. Thank you to the staff that are here this meeting, and we will be ready to go very shortly. Thank you.